G'day folks, it's Jimmy from the Hard Rock Show here again with my bird Ollie. I had to put him on my shoulder here today because he will not shut up, because he's very excited to talk about this album, and I'm sure he's bleeding into my green screen everywhere, but who cares? We're going to talk about Trench Dogs out of Stockholm, Sweden. Let's go. Okay, so Trench Dogs, yes, have released their debut album. It is called Year of the Dog. It is out independently. It's 11 songs, 44 minutes. The band does have a Big Cartel page, which is linked to their Facebook page. So if you get onto their Facebook page, you'll be able to pick up physical copies of this album, also available on all your streaming services, of course, everywhere. Now, Trench Dogs have been around since 2013. This is their debut album. They've put out a couple of EPs in the past, and they've finally got around to doing their debut album. Now, as I said earlier, the band is fronted by a guy called Andy Hakandi, who is from Melbourne, Australia, and it's a really interesting story from Andy. He took off one day. It was quite a few years ago now. It was before 2013, obviously. And he went over to Sweden and didn't have a band, didn't have anything sorted. And he managed to put together this band called Trench Dogs. And they've gone through a few lineup changes, but they've finally got their stable lineup. And this is the album. So really interesting story that Andy's got. And hopefully one day we'll get him to tell it. Now, straight off, the first song, Homesick Parade, you can tell this is going to be a fun album, and boy, it sure is. I really enjoyed it. Let's take a listen to some music and a look at some music now. I'm shaking and I'm cranking and I got it bad. The beat is coming on and I got it in my head and my hands. There must be something wrong with me. I'm going under. I'm not sorry for the things that I said. I'm going under. Now, there's a huge batch of influences all over this record, but the band also has their own original sound, if that makes sense. I'm hearing some Hanoi Rocks, some Guns N' Roses, bit of Rolling Stones, and on the very first song, there's a piano in there, which is sort of, it's got a honky-tonk piano type sound, a little bit of a Little Richard type thing, and it all works beautifully well, and I really enjoyed it. There's some really cool guitar work on this as well. They're very catchy songs and rockin' songs, and the guitar sounds great. Can't really fault anything here. Let's hope my bird doesn't bite my microphone. We shall see. What else have we got here? Yeah, Rattlin' Bones is definitely a standout track. Great lyrics as well right through the album. I know that Andy writes the lyrics himself. I'm pretty sure he writes a lot of the music himself as well. And they're very tongue-in-cheek lyrics, but they're interesting and telling some really good stories. And I think the guy has probably been through a lot over there in Sweden, going over by yourself and forming the band and getting to know people and all that sort of stuff. And it's reflected in the lyrics, I think, but also in a tongue-in-cheek way and a bit of a smart-ass way, and I enjoyed that. So well done to that. It's happy, upbeat blues rock. It's danceable, and it's great drinking and party music. I reckon you could put this on at a party and have quite a few drinks and get yourself pretty blind while listening to this album, and I think you'd have a very, very good time. Let's check out some more music now. I love the attitude on this album, as I've sort of gone through with the lyrics, but you can tell through the music it's a real no holds barred, you know, no F's given, whatever, just good time, rock and roll. There's a few live clips of this band around on YouTube as well that I've had a look at. Their live show looks like a lot of fun. I don't think we're going to get them out in Australia anytime soon because being an independent band, coming all the way from Sweden to Australia is a very, very costly exercise. So unfortunately, I can't see that happening for a while, but hopefully one day, you never know. What else did I say? Production? Yeah, production. The production's great. I don't know where it was recorded or how or with who or whatever, but it's come out really good. It's nice and crisp and clear, and overall it's just a lot of fun. Great songs, catchy. It's a fine album. It really grew on me. The first couple of listens I was enjoying it, but not the way I'm enjoying it now. It's a real grower. It's taken me sort of 4 or 5 listens to really get it stuck in my head, and now it is, and I love it. Let's try and dig up some more music. Let's see what we've got. Go! Yeah, so look, I think this band's got a really big future, and they're obviously in the right place at the moment, being in Europe. A lot of hard rock bands, rock and roll bands in Europe doing really well at the moment. I think you can add these guys to the pile, and hopefully they can get themselves built up and go really well. I think there's a big future. Look, I gave this a 9 out of 10, this album. I think it's a really good, fun party album. I mean, that's really all I can describe it as. If you like bluesy, sleazy, party, drinking rock and roll, then this is the album for you. And I think you should check it out. It's really well done, a lot of fun, but I think there's also a lot of stories to be told, I think, on this album if you look a bit deeper into the lyrics. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe Andy can get on here and tell me, I don't know. Maybe I should interview him. I think I will try and do that. So yes, Trench Dogs, 9 out of 10, Year of the Dog. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. Very good album. Congrats, guys. More reviews coming soon. See ya.